sometimes. Yeah.
I too. I was like, I'm not married, but I too date myself.
It's good too.
Well, it's mostly because I can't stand company.
Yeah, and like men in general, they're not batting a great average.
No, I mean,
No.
some of them, a lot of them, most of them, except for one person we know in particular, speak inside the movie theater while you're watching the movie. So,
Yeah.
roll that way.
That's not a sexy trait in a partner.
Mm-mm,
Read the
mm-mm.
room.
Yes.
Read
Um,
the room.
my favorite. Oh, you were going to say?
No, you go ahead.
My favorite is when they passively watch television with you when you clearly put on something that needs to be watched with both your eyeballs.
Oh, that is a conversation to be had. Yes, because it's different levels of investment in the show. Somebody's on their phone. It's just not. Mm-mm.
No, I can't do it. It kind of drives me insane.
Um, are you surprised? First of all, did you watch Black Widow?
Sure did.
I did too, and I liked it better than I thought I would because I was like, oh, a spy movie like freaking Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh my God. It was good though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Um, I'm I was super like I watched it again, like almost immediately after, because I went downstairs, I watched it, went upstairs, reviewed it with Josh, Mara, and Mike at like
Yeah.
10 a.m. and then went downstairs. My twin sister was already down there watching on my Disney Prime. She's like, "Hey,
Oh.
someone bought Black Widow." I'm like, "Yes."
That is correct. I did.
So I watched it again with her, and I the things that were discussed in our review, I watched for and got more excited about. Like really excited about Florence Pugh, OT
Yeah.
for Bentley. Jesus, I totally forgot to mention him in our review, but like the little M that Scarlett Johansson keeps in the woods, like,
Yeah.
or in that trailer, like, who is he? Why is he so hot? Why are you not in the Marvel universe more? What's going
Is
on here?
is he a love slave? Like, what is he?
Right? They share like a knowing glance, or I mean, he's sleeping. She crashes the
I
bed.
Yeah. I thought there was tension there for sure. For sure. Um, Also Drag Race. I was so excited about that lip sync. That
What?
was so
Bianca
good.
Del Rio?
Well, did you watch it?
Yeah.
It
No, I'm
wasn't
just
it wasn't Bianca.
no, it was
Oh,
not.
okay. I was like, wait, I'm like, I got
Mayhem Miller.
who I despised, but that's another point. But the lip sync I loved. That was good.
I was at the moment. I mean, well, let's dial all the way back. But the moment the challenge started and they chose the categories for which they would do the pink table, I was like, oh, this is the episode. I looked at my sister and I was like, I think this is the episode. Oh my God. Why can't I remember her name? I love her.
Ginger?
Uh, no, the queen that went home.
Oh, Scarlet.
Scarlett, I was like, oh my God, I think this is the episode where Scarlett goes home. She's like, shut up. Scarlett won't go home. She's always going to be safe.
Yeah, I was very sad that Scarlet went home, to be honest. I think both times now, both in Scarlet's season in season 11 and now in All Stars, she's been robbed, I think twice. Like she is a talented queen. She can put a look together like no one else. She is funny. She is entertaining. Um, but yeah, I do think she didn't land the mark on this episode, but I also kind of think Jan should have gone home instead.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Jen should have went home last night, or last week,
Well, she won last week, though. Jan won last week.
which
Which,
is
by the
weird.
way, that lip sync she did was not it. She blew that lip sync.
It was terrible.
It was not good.
Also, I really was not feeling the Jantasy when she did Gaga. I was not
I,
Gaga-egged. I was just like, oh, that's okay.
I thought it was good, but I thought Trinity K. Bonet was better.
Right?
Yeah, I
She
thought she killed it as Beyonce.
breaks the Beyonce curse,
Yeah.
comes out in a stunning, I mean, she's an older queen. Not an older queen, but like the makeup is a little rougher, but
Mhm.
the makeup was fantastic on the
Yeah.
runway. The runway outfit I thought was better.
I think I would have given the edge to Jan's outfit. It was like a saloon madam. I did like that.
Oh, yeah, wait a second.
That was the frills category. I didn't think
Okay.
Trinity's frills runway was as good, but I still think Trinity killed it in that challenge as Beyonce.
Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, I feel like it was a hard decision, and I
Yeah,
would have given it to Trinity. But then we wouldn't have had that terrible lip sync.
with Jan. Yeah, that was rough. I don't know what the hell that was.
Yeah, it was
I
good to see though because their ass got kicked.
Yeah. But yeah, I without spoiling too much now, yeah, I the lip sync last night was really fun though.
Hmm. Mm. Um, the moment it started to happen, Mayhem Miller comes out. I was like, you know what?
Was that
I've
like
seen.
a Velvet Ursula inspired like headpiece? It looked like octopus tentacles.
I feel like it was.
Yeah, that's what I gathered, but I could be wrong. Sorry.
Oh no, no, it's okay. Everyone loves a Disney queen.
Yeah.
Um, but like, were they wearing this like the signature contacts? I can't remember. I don't think that was happening, but
Not the
God.
signature ones, but there was something going on with the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, if they do a full whiteout again, I'm gonna freak. I don't know what it is about contacts that just costumey to me. Like
Yeah, I
too
can't get into them
cosplay.
either for drag.
Yeah. When it started, I was like, oh, Ginger's gonna win $30,000. They're gonna get a $30,000 tip. I just feel it. Like Ginger, I've seen perform in real life. I was like, oh, this is good.
Where?
Here in Windsor.
She
Oh,
performed in Windsor?
there was like a little show. I don't think, yeah,
Ginger Minge. Well,
there was a,
Ash.
yeah, here, somebody had popped up and started doing of, all kinds of drag shows, and Ginger was a top bill for one of them. Silky was a top bill for one of them. I would have went, but I had just like no time because they were like doing drag shows like every other week.
In Windsor.
hmm I did go to see Kimchi though. Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
I
Look,
heard Kimchi didn't perform very long though.
because she's not a performer.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Kimchi's more of a look queen.
Yeah, so they had a lot of openers. So my friend Joe, who is Juicebox,
Oh, juice box. Yeah.
opened. Um, I believe they had like a drag king, which was really awesome, and they had like two other queens to support Juicebox. But I can't really remember because I really was just there for Kimchi.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like a meet and it was the first time I did like the full package where you do like a meet and greet and like one, Kimchi is like 6 feet. She's like 6 feet on me.
Wow.
Smells delicious, like a cupcake.
Oh, I
Like,
bet. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, best queen in my opinion. Anyway.
Best queen. So Loki season finale. I guess that's why we're here today. Um,
Yeah.
I'm still
I,
gasping from air for air. My oxygen levels are at an all-time low.
for other reasons,
Yeah.
for television reasons.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even know where to start. I guess we could recap the show. We
Yeah.
leave off. Yeah, we leave off. Sylvie has pruned herself to get. Wait, no, that already happened. No, they're walking towards the kingdom. They've gotten past Eliath. Is that how you pronounce that? The
Elias. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
monster? Yeah. They've gotten past him, and Loki and Sylvie are now walking towards the palace, and we finally get to see who is inside. But before we get there, there's all kinds of amazing Easter eggs. Like this show, including the cinematography, like I'll admit I watch a lot of videos to because I don't want to miss. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And someone breaks down the cinematography and how the lighting uh, is inspired by time, and then um, the different details in the architecture, the different details in the subtle changes of costume. It's like crazy the amount of research people are doing on the internet. So we're here to talk about that. So Sylvie and Loki walk in to, what do they call the castle? I don't even know what to call it.
Oh, there was a name for it.
Time Palace? I don't know.
Crappiola. No, it was like something at the. Oh, that's gonna bother me. They did Miss Minutes did say it. Like
Mm-hmm.
the stronghold at the end of time or something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, anyways.
It's true. Okay, so we won't say it again. We won't utter it, but it is a tangent-ish. Um, it's it's pieced together by I'm an art history major and I study Japanese pottery. It's like kintsugi, like that gold where they take broken pottery and they
Yes.
they mend it with gold. And the entire place is made of that. Um, it looks amazing. The symbolism is and
Yeah.
they see Miss Minutes and she welcomes them to the place, and then like very, 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 very fast forward to he who remains stepping off of an elevator and presenting himself to our two main characters. He tells them that he is only a variant of himself,
Yeah.
and he goes by many names. And this is the part where I was like, Jesus, mother. Like, the jerk, the conqueror, he who remains. He never says Kang.
I noticed. Yeah, we never have heard those four letters.
No, because I feel like, I mean, really, that. Before we go off into how our feelings, uh, I feel like that's it. Once we meet him and he tells Sylvie and Loki the story of what is going on. Has brunch not started yet? Oh,
No. They're both getting ready.
I love it. Oh, there's just a little tail back there. Wow. So once they know what happens, it's he kind of puts it in their court. He says he is the one that is writing time. He has like a little Apple Watch to write time with. And then something happens where he tells them, "Wait, there's a threshold. Uh, it
And I
can't
think
be."
we've passed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm no longer writing time. He can't predict the future because he's not writing it. Um, and he really, I don't know if that's a lie or not, because he seems to be egging on Sylvie to kill him, or to, you know, what I mean, to pick one of two outcomes,
Yeah.
both of which I feel like he knows the answer to. Like, uh, after whatever happens, I feel like whether he dies or whether he doesn't die, whatever Sylvie chooses to do will produce Kang the Conqueror, whatever variant that is. And I feel like that's why he didn't ever say Kang, because Kang doesn't exist yet.
Well, yeah, that's so I think, yeah, exactly. The he who remains that we encountered is a variant. I was kind of convinced he didn't know, but now that you say that, the way you described it, I think he must have known actually what would have happened if he was killed, that it was going to start basically, it's going to undo this sacred timeline and just create an infinite amount of realities. So maybe you are right. Maybe it was intentional. And by being intentional, that means you're creating infinite He Who Remains. And one of them, I'm assuming, will be Kang, which I guess I think to like take a step back for a second, For those listeners who are listening, maybe from Belgium, maybe from Australia, maybe from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Hi guys.
Hi. Kang. So first of all, Kang's been around in Marvel history for a minute. He's been here. He's been around since 1963. Fantastic Four number 19 was his first debut as King Ramatut. LOL. But he's got quite a pervasive back history. Like he even before you realize what a threat he is, like he's popped up as many different incarnations. So Kang is you almost have to subscribe to the idea that Kang is a idea. He really is because it's this he who remains that is pervasive across infinite timelines. He's almost like a virus for existence. I think that's the best way to describe him because he is constantly showing up. And if you look in Fantastic Four history, I know a little bit more about Fantastic Four than I do Thor. Thank you. Um,
Hmm.
he shows up as many different incarnations, and those incarnations even get together, and have their own council of Kangs. Like he's all, and like when you kill one, two more pop up. Like he is a virus for existence itself. I feel like, and so sure, Jonathan Majors is going to be the face, right, of Kang going forward. But
Hmm.
really, we have to subscribe conceptually to the idea that Kang, like I assume he will die many times throughout the MCU, but it won't matter. He'll just be
Hmm.
keep popping up everywhere. He's an infection.
Hmm. I love that. I hadn't heard that theory, and I'm not familiar with the Fantastic Four. I only briefly read the early 2000s ish Jonathan Hickman stuff. I love it. I totally agree with you, because he's signed up to play. Or sorry, Jonathan Majors is billed as Kang the Conqueror in the new Ant-Man movie.
Yes.
So that fits perfectly with the I'm not even gonna I'm gonna call it a theory for now.
Yeah.
With a theory that Jonathan Majors is going to be playing or Kang, or versions of Kang and variants of throughout the MCU. I don't know the scope though of how big of a bad this guy is going to be.
I mean, I think he's Thanos. Just
Yeah.
from what's, I mean, but not so much. I mean, yeah, I kind of maybe could see that from the perspective of what's going on in Loki, but just from the talk outside of the films, like production talk, it sounds like he's the next Thanos.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Not that I don't want him to be. I think that would be a very fun villain. I I just worry with where they are in the MCU right now that I'm surprised that it's not Victor Von Doom being set up or something like that or Galactus. I think that would have been like, how are you going to do those after you do Kang? Because Kang's like even bigger a threat. So I'm kind of like, oh man, what's going on there? So I
Hmm.
don't know.
I mean, Galactus eats worlds.
He eats, yeah,
But he
but
doesn't control time. Yeah.
he doesn't control time, and also like, do we know that? Like, okay, what I'm trying to say, this is
Hmm.
a difficult concept to get across, but like
Hmm.
Kang's causing multiple timelines to branch, which completely opens the door for the MCU for better or for worse. Like I think this is finally their excuse. This is setting up Spider-Man No Way Home for sure. For
Hmm.
sure, for sure. This is setting up Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This is probably setting up Loki season 2, but it also gives opportunities to bring in Fantastic Four or X-Men. Like this is their opportunity to do that without having to make any hardcore explanations. But when you do that, you also at the same time, like for worse, like you're basically Marvel Comics now, where you can retcon any death you need or change anybody's appearance by casting a new actor. There's going to be a lot of creative license being taken, I think, with with some things going forward.
Hmm.
And I mean, who can blame them? I guess like people age in real life. You can't keep writing them the same forever. Um, so yeah, like that's for the worst part. What I'm trying to say though is like I just kind of, and again, I have no idea what's coming. So like this could all be just like complaining for nothing. But um, it would have made more sense to do a villain like Victor Von Doom or Galactus, where they're an absolute threat in their timeline. But when you're branching out into multiple timelines, all of a sudden, are we to assume there's multiple Von Dooms and multiple Galacti? Like what's so it's like, how do we like? It's gonna be. I'm sure they've mapped it out. It's Marvel, but I'm just from a fan's perspective, it's kind of like it's really like making my brain have a workout. I'm like, oh, how are they gonna do this? Without sacrificing the integrity of so many major villains like Von Doom, Galactus. If they do Dark Phoenix, which they got it wrong twice already, so God knows if it's gonna happen a third time. But I'm just saying stuff like that. I'm like, Kang's great, but he's everything. He's like the threat. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Right. Oh, I feel like knowing that and knowing what little I already know, I feel like they're blowing their Marvel load a little too fast.
Yeah, thank you. You summed it up
Yeah.
perfectly. They're blowing their load a little too fast.
Right. And something I said when we reviewed Black Widow was that this is the film we needed 15 years ago. 15. So when in my experience, when Iron Man came out, I fully expected, because they introduced Black Widow as a character, I fully expected there to be like a Black Widow movie, which never happened.
Mm.
They really, the point why I'm bringing this up is because at a time where they're now really connecting very intricate plot lines, almost every single plot line is converging onto itself again in the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
They give us a film like Black Widow that exists as part of the timeline, but it can exist without. You can watch that. That film has watchability outside of all of this stuff. And this is the problem with what is happening right now, is that, and with the comics as well, is that in order to have or understand one, it's a huge event. They all tie together. You have to, they tie them together with like mid-credit rolls, end credit scenes. Like it's the same problem that I had with the very first phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is it started towards the end. It started to get too convoluted.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's one that's not going to get easier.
No, and like my aged adult brain is not going to be able to keep up very soon.
Yeah, it's like I think maybe in a way it's helpful that they're spreading a lot of this Marvel content across two mediums now, which is film and television. So it's almost like reading different comic books where it's like, okay, I'm reading these at the television, it's giving me this and this, and oh, it's explaining that better to me. And oh, and now I'm watching the movie and it's a little bit different in that sense. That's maybe the differential pacing will help the viewer own the material better. But I agree with you. I'm like, oh, or maybe we're just old. We're just old bags. We're not our spry Windsor selves that we used to be, going to Fog every weekend or the Loop or
Yeah, our knees click now.
They click.
Yeah, I mean, our heels used to click. Now it's not even the knees; it's the joints. I had a dance party for the Pokemon, the 25th anniversary Pokemon, was it?
Okay, I forgot.
Yeah, Joshua Morvell told me that Post Malone was doing a digital concert, and I was like, wait a second. So I tuned in and I danced to the whole thing, and I haven't danced for a straight 45 minutes since our heydays.
Yeah.
And I had to take 3 days to recover.
Okay, that's interesting though. That is actually interesting because I now play volleyball on Thursday nights, and I was our first game on Thursday. There was a total of 4 injuries across three games, like an hour long, like 3 different matches of volleyball, and within an hour there was 4 injuries. People are not used to moving around because of COVID.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, one of them, like a girl's face got obliterated by the ball, like just absolutely obliterated by the ball. That's different. But there was three injuries related to like movement, like pulling a back or pulling a hamstring or something. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, what are we, 25 minutes in? Welcome to the Full Volume Podcast. This
Oh,
is your host,
hi.
Gia Jolie.
I am Harvey Brent. Sorry, we get into it.
Okay, so volleyball injuries. Is her face okay?
I mean, I genuinely did not even laugh when it happened. Like it was like a moment, like it was bad. She was bleeding, and then I don't know. She could have had a concussion. I don't know, but um, you know, it was a lot. It wasn't. They weren't on our team. They were on the other team, but still,
Shit. Okay,
yeah.
hashtag thoughts and prayers.
Hashtag thoughts and prayers, but also hashtag the rest of the injuries, like you said, just strain. Like people didn't move as much as they used to.
And it was beach volleyball, wasn't it? It wasn't
It
like
was,
full court. Oh, shoot.
yeah.
Yeah, like, even the thought of playing beach volleyball, like, I love volleyball. The thought of playing beach volleyball right now, it, I feel like I can feel my body sinking into the sand. Yeah. I let alone drinking while you're doing it. Can't do it. Not gonna
I
do it.
I was actually dead sober. It was weird. I had a test the next day for work, so I had to like, study and stuff. But yeah, I don't think the alcohol would have helped. It was
Well,
no.
at least you're out there having fun in the sun. I see
Hmm.
that it's sunny there. It is rainy here. Not looking forward to the drive into work today.
Mm, unfortunate.
That's okay though. Okay, so Easter eggs. I mean, we're not going to knock them all off, but let's talk about at least two of our favorites.
Oh,
I
Easter
talked
eggs.
about Japanese pottery. Ooh. Okay. I mean, I have to give a shout out to the incredible researchers over at the New Rockstars channel on YouTube. Holy shit.
Go.
They went through, you know how when the episode starts and you can hear the audio from different.
I had a feeling there was going to be an Easter egg in there, so I was like, hopefully Jolie looked it up because I
Yeah,
felt like they're okay. Give me it,
they went through every single sound clip and found the source for every single sound clip. So, mm-hmm.
girl.
I'll send you the link. But as you suspect, they start off with the sound clips of each of like the little Marvel characters that you see inside the logo.
Yes, that was
Uh,
clever.
yeah, as they say things pertaining to time, while I mean, I don't think this was planned from the beginning, but it was very convenient to have all these characters say these kinds of things. And they also inserted um, sound clips from Nelson Mandela, Greta Thunberg, Malala, um, other visionaries throughout history who talked about like uh, they were like the pop culture soundbite types, but also when these people spoke about time, what they theorized would happen to our existence. Um, and then also the sound of Loki as a baby in the clip where Odin is holding him for the first time when he goes to get him from the frost giants. So
Wow.
they include much of Loki's life, including what he says to Thanos before Thanos chokes the life out of him. Um, so somebody in the less than 30 seconds that this little clip exists in, somebody did all of that. Somebody at New Rockstars researched all of it, but somebody put it together. Like, that's crazy. Someone
Mm.
was paid to put all of that together because you see it zoom out of the Marvel
Logo.
logo into what looks like a a galaxy or a universe. Well, I guess, yeah, a galaxy. And it pulls out and you see two sort of paired galaxies floating together, and then it zooms
Yes.
into the next one. And that, my friends, is, I think, the galaxy that we are in, or the universe that we're in. Um, it's suggesting that maybe we have been experiencing the events of one timeline, and now we're going to be experiencing the events of an alternate timeline.
That's possible. Could you imagine? That would be the gag of the century if everything we saw this episode was a completely different timeline.
Yeah, I mean,
Although I was going to say by the end of it, we actually discover that Loki is now in a different timeline. We do discover by the end of it, which is
yeah,
also a gag.
that's where my brain was like, I can't comprehend anymore.
Yeah,
I know it's capable of comprehending, but it has rebelled and shut itself down.
I feel like the movies going forward need to have like little like digitally inserted tags like pointing to the character and like telling me which timeline they're from now on, just to
Like
like keep it all straight in my head.
like a pop-up video.
Yeah, like a little like boop Earth 616, like for the audience because it's like literally going to be too fucking much.
Instead of having the Snyder cut, they'll have the multiversal cut.
Oh my god.
That would actually be super helpful. Kevin
Yeah,
Feige, listen up.
give me
Anyone
just
out there? Yeah.
a little infographic of like where they are in each timeline. Give me like the branch going from this timeline to that. Somebody's going to make it. That's going to be a thing for sure.
Yeah. And it's going to be a poster that I buy and hang on my wall.
Same.
What about you?
I don't call it Easter egg. I guess like I liked Miss Minutes. She kind of like explicitly really acknowledged the 2012 Avengers film and Loki dying by Thanos' hand. She like really like explicitly acknowledged it, and it's not so much an Easter egg because it was explicit. Easter eggs are supposed to be covert by nature. But I loved that just soft but strong connective tissue to the MCU there. That was like, I mean, it happens. Like it's happened a couple times throughout the series, but this one was the most explicit, where it's like saying, "Hey, we could make you better than Thanos. We could give you that Infinity Gauntlet, no problem." It's just again taking Marvel Phase 1 through 3, the Infinity Gauntlet phase, Infinity Stone phase, Infinity Saga. What is it called? Um,
I would call it the Infinity Saga.
the Infinity Saga. Taking that whole Infinity Saga and just kind of dwarfing it in size to make this new saga look bigger. It put everything in perspective again, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, I like that too. So, Marvel is giving us another breather between properties. We're gonna do What If, starting in August. I think it's August 11th is when that's dropping.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be returning to everyone's favorite lists.
Lists, yeah.
I don't know who
lists.
Yeah, I don't know who we're going to do next. I think we should stick. It's a great formula. I think we should stick to Marvel or Marvel adjacent actors and discuss our favorite properties that they exist in.
Yeah.
Might I suggest / demand or confirm that we'll join us next week when we go over our top 10 Evan Peters?
I mean, there really is no other choice that makes sense, considering we spent the first 15 episodes of this podcast sexually harassing the man. So,
yeah. I mean,
Although
why not have a 16th?
Hold on. But in the context of Evan Peters, should we A, rank his movies, B, rank his performances in American Horror Story, because he's in so many seasons? Like, where are we going here with this? We could do a lot with Evan Peters. We could do a lot with Evan Peters. So much.
And
Also,
he's already out there doing the most.
He's doing the mostest. He just got nominated for an Emmy.
Yay! Was it for Mayor of Easttown?
Yes,
Oh,
I
he
am.
was so good in that. Okay, do you know what? Maybe we do a double header.
Or we can stagger Evan Peters Part 1, Evan Peters Part 2. He's not as well known for the movies though, so I'm gonna have to look into that. That's gonna be a tricky one, but we'll try. We'll see what happens.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, there's not that many weeks. Maybe we just do a full Evan Peters deep dive for the next 4 weeks.
An Evan Peters saga.
Yeah. We stalk you saga.
We stalk you saga, yeah.
We could do one whole episode. Honestly, we have. When you said that, I was like, but AHS is one whole episode.
Yeah, because he's in 8 seasons of American Horror Story, but he plays 11 or 12 characters across those 8 seasons. There's a lot.
Okay, get ready, buckle in, bitches, because if you don't like Evan Peters, I don't know who you are. I don't know what world you exist in. But we're going to be here. We're going to be talking about him. So join us next week for another fun-filled episode while we wait for Marvel's What If to drop.
Yeah.
Which I'm sort of excited for. I wasn't at first, but there's a lot of weirdness that they're announcing. So
well, also the end of Loki has set it up perfectly now. So now I'm like, oh, this might be a nice like crash course of how this, multiverse is going to work. So I'm into it.
So if you have any theories, if you have any favorite Evan Peters things that you want us to talk about, that you want to talk about with us, send us great mail at fullvolumepod@gmail.com, or you can catch us on the Comic Book Syndicate at www.comicbooksyndicate.com, our online home for everything that we do, all of our podcasts, all our creator interviews, etc., etc. I have been only one of your hosts, G.I. Jolie.
I have also been only one, but the lesser of the two. I'm Harvey Brent.
Never. Until next time, keep it loud.
Keep it at full volume.